Imagine the world 20 degrees warmer all the time. The ocean waves 30 inches higher. Your children getting sunburn and blisters by being outside half our day. It's happening right now in our world. I am Joseph Mckenziej. I'm here to persuade you to do your part and use renewable clean energy to help assist in stopping greenhouse emissions and thus maybe slow or stop global warming. Today, I'm going to convince you to become part of the solution, not the major problem. Briefly, I'll review the causes of greenhouse emission, solutions to utilizing renewable and clean energy, and what you, the individual, can do to help. Now that I have your attention, let's start with the major issues. According to the Union of Concerned Scientists, generating electrical power is the major cause of global warming across, and that's burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. First, we decimate the face of our planet by strip mining, deep well drilling for oil in the oceans and inland. We pump in tons of ocean water. We don't know what that's doing to the planet, to force out shale oil and natural gas. And then through burning the fossil fuels, we release tons of carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases in the atmosphere. This has caused the U.S. average temperature to rise 3 to 4 degrees in the last century. It's not a lot for that long time, you think, but what are the physical indicators? The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, has been monitoring 26 indicators that deal with climate change, to include weather and climate, oceans, snow and ice, and the ecosystem. Besides the temperature rising, the sea levels in parts of the United States have risen 8 inches in the last 50 years. So now we're cutting down some time here. The snowfalls are decreased in the last 40 years, 1.2% a year for the last 40 years. So extremely apparent here in the high Cascade Mountains of Oregon and Washington. Through my own personal experience, I can see Mount Shasta, our front deck. For the last 13 to 16 years on average, and Mount Shasta sits at 14,179 feet. It used to be snow-capped year-round, in and out. And now as early as mid-May, there's big brown spots on the mountain where it's barren of snow and ice. We're down to the million-year-old last ice age ice. That's how much stuff is melted off the top of Mount Shasta. So it's very apparent to me. This is just a glimpse of having the fossil fuels and what it's done to our environment and our planet. Now let me tell you about some alternatives to fossil fuels that we, as a country, as individuals, as the world, need to do and produce in mass quantity to even try to help offset this. But we as individuals can do stuff too. But let's start with the big picture. According to the Natural Resources Defense Council, we can produce enough electricity through utilizing geothermal, solar, wind, hydro, and offshore wind, wave, and tidal energy to basically power the U.S., our electrical power needs. Currently, the U.S. is only producing 1 or 2.7% of its electrical power from renewable sources. And of that, only 0.2% is from solar. So we'll just take on one subject right now. On average, there's 303 days of usable solar energy or usable sunlight in any part of the continent of the United States. The lower extremities towards the equator, of course, have more, and up north we have a little bit less. But here in Klamath Falls, it's 303 days. Okay, in Germany, who's much like Washington State, they're cloud-ridden 3/4 of the year. They are number one in the world. They only have 100 days of usable sunlight. They just surpassed the 30% mark. 30% of their energy is from renewable energy. And of that, 50% of that is from solar. Germany, 100 days. That doesn't even add up. America, we need to get on board with this. Despite having untapped, we have geothermal up and down the entire west coast of the United States and part of the Midwest. Huge, vast prairies we use for solar and wind farms. There's numerous rivers and lakes and streams we can use for hydro, and we have the longest or some of the longest coastlines in the world for the wind, wave, and tidal energy produced. And once you pay the upfront fee, it's just maintenance fees after that. We are currently number 7th in the world behind all these small countries. We need to make this happen. But I'm not here to sell you on what we as a country need to do, produce mass power and everything. All I ask is you do your part. And here's some ideas. If you're going to build a house, recondition your house. Put solar panels on the roof. Put a small wind turbine or generator in your backyard. If you have acreage, put a couple out there and a big solar farm. Me and my wife are going to build our house. We have plans for our dream house. Solar's on the roof and 2 wind generators. $36,000 is what it's going to cost us. Wow, that's a lot, you think. Yeah, it is. But through the federal government in Oregon, we're getting $21,000 of that back. So now we're down to 15. We spend an average of $3,500 to $4,000 a year on gas and electric to heat and light our house. It would take us 5 years, 4.5, once we pay the initial upfront fees. And most generators, or most wind generators and solar, are 25-year life cycle to 35-year, and they're going farther than that. So after 5 years, we're paid back. And now we're living high off the hog and free. It's also federally mandated that the power companies, that the power you produce above and beyond what you use, they either have to pay you back in cash or in credit to your bill. So if your system ever goes down and you're ahead 2 years in credit, it's still free power. You've got it. Additionally, there's no toxins emitted that can hurt you in our atmosphere or our kids or anything else. And the federal government in most states, they will offer substantial kickbacks, tax exemptions, and grants to help you offset the entire system. So let me sum up and hopefully drive my point home in your mind. To become part of the solution and not part of the problem, and we need to use renewable energy. I've just given you a brief introduction to fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, and how they're decimating our atmosphere and our planet through greenhouse emissions, and how they're scarring the face of it. I hope that I've opened up your eyes to solutions: geothermal, solar, wind, hydro, offshore wind, wave, and tidal energies that are all available, and that our government should be undertaking and producing on a mass scale to try to slow or possibly correct for our children's futures. Additionally, I've presented you, the individual, with some solutions and or means that you can get alternative energies instead of fossil fuels. I hope that I've opened at least one individual's eyes. Step to the plate with me and my wife, my family. Help us protect our family and help us protect our world for the future. Thank you.